Let's go to James real quick in Santa Rosa. James, what's happening, man?
What's up, James?
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate you guys.
No problem.
So I just want to talk about Brock Purdy, and I think he's the most underpaid athlete in all of sports. And also, my son just loves him so much. Like, he's his favorite player, and I feel like he's got the Steph Curry effect where, like, kids know they can't throw the ball like Patrick Mahomes 100 yards down the field, but they feel like the underdog, like they could be Brock Purdy.
Absolutely. A lot of kids probably feel that way. I mean, that's part of the appeal of Steph Curry is, most people aren't going to be able to physically appear like LeBron or Shaquille O'Neal and dunk and jam the way they do. But with Steph, you feel like you can go into a basketball gym and see a bunch of 8 and 9-year-olds who are scrawny chucking up 3-pointers, right? Even though in real life, Steph Curry's usually the tallest guy in the room.
Right.
At 6'3".
6'3", 6'4", yep.
But, Purdy made some plays in this one, man. He did. He made some plays.
Him just, with the way he walks into the stadium, he's got just a basic jacket on, some jeans. It's like he's wearing his hard hat, like he's a manager at a construction site or something. I don't know. It is kind of cool to see him make only $900,000 and lead a team to a Super Bowl. Like, he wins his Super Bowl. Brock Purdy won't have to worry about making $900,000 in a season ever again at the quarterback position. I can tell you that much.
Well, he's already making more off the field because he's in Toyota commercials. I've seen him in a variety of different Levi's commercials. He's made a little bit of cash in his back pocket, but clearly not the amount of generational wealth the other quarterbacks who were in the Final Four were making.
Right. So Brock Purdy, I mean, look, I thought watching that game back, especially in the fourth quarter, especially with those scrambles in the second half, I said, man, forget Joe Montana for a second. Now, the footwork was excellent. Footwork in the pocket by Brock was just next level. It was elite. Some of the throws he made, nice little sail route to George Kittle there.
That was really nice. He waited on it just a second.
On it,
yeah.
Nice touch.
Yeah, I
Didn't
agree.
rush it. One of his best throws outside the numbers he's had all season long. But some of those scrambles and the way he finished those scrambles, I saw number 8. I didn't see number 16. And when I say number 8, I'm not comparing Brock Purdy to Steve Young. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to disrespect Steve Young as a Hall of Famer, nor am I going to disrespect Joe Montana. But if you want to compare those guys, go ahead. I really don't care. But the way he finished those runs were more Steve Young-esque. And I think when Steve Young used to finish those scrambles, and he wouldn't go down, and he would try to bowl over a defender. Look, we all thought, man, you're crazy. You're a quarterback. You may get hurt here. But I understand what it does to a sideline.
Yes.
When the sideline and your teammates see you, the quarterback, refusing to go down and going shoulder first, head first, and I'm not sliding. I'm getting every single inch of grass I can possibly get on this play. I thought, whoa, that's Steve Young. That's not Joe Montana. That's a little bit of Steve.
You wanted to get into the final drive, like the drive that put him up 10, correct? That's the one you wanted to get into? Yep. The 3rd and 4 is the one that's going to stick out for me. You've got Shanahan kind of slowing things down. He's got a couple of CMC tosses. There's a little Debo play-action play to kind of calm Purdy down. It's just a simple little rollout, boom, let me hit the guy in the flat. But it's 3rd and 4, and they go shotgun, and they've got CMC on one side of Purdy, and they got Debo on the other side of him. And Purdy recognizes that, and I don't know if he told them at halftime, hey, use your legs a little more, but it just felt like something got inside Purdy's head to use his legs. That run, that 3rd and 4 scramble, I don't even know how many total yards he got on that play, and then he wouldn't go down, and then he dove forward. It's one of the great plays of his young career.
21
and he's had
yards,
many of them.
21-yard scramble right there. 21-yard scramble. And him extending plays, I thought was so underrated in his game against Detroit. Extending those plays and just making things happen, whether it was passing, whether it was running, whether it was getting extra yards. That could be a key against Kansas City because Kansas City blitzed the heck out of Lamar Jackson. But listening to the broadcast, Tony Romo and Boomer Esiason, all the panel there at CBS, they were discussing how Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator for Kansas City, who's really, really good. We've seen this guy for way too long, even with the New York Giants back in 2011. He is good at his job, maybe one of the best defense coordinators all of football, and he doesn't get talked about enough. But they totally flipped their game plan against Buffalo to Baltimore. Against Buffalo, they said, we're not going to allow explosives. You can have all the little dink and dunk stuff. We're going to bend, but we're not going to break. Baltimore, they came after Lamar Jackson. Every other play they were blitzing Lamar Jackson. So I have no idea what they have in store for Brock Purdy, but Brock Purdy's ability to extend some of these plays is going to be very key in that Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I thought that was the difference in that second half against Detroit. Sure, he made a lot of throws, made some great throws, but extending those plays and then using his legs, that was big time, man. That was the difference between him and Goff in that fourth quarter.
Well, there's no doubt. And I thought the way Shanahan was calling plays in the entire second half, to me, we haven't given enough credit to in the last 48 hours. I thought he did a great job of, number one, getting CMC and Debo just acclimated to and getting them easy touches, whether it's everybody go deep, let's check down to CMC, or here's a toss to CMC on the edge and let him use his legs and his vision and his jukes, and then getting Debo involved. I thought it galvanized the stadium. The stadium was reacting to Debo Samuel, and then Purdy clearly felt calm after he had a couple of little screen passes to Debo. The best pass, like in terms of like getting momentum, was that deep one on the first drive of the third quarter. Even though they didn't score a touchdown, he threw a laser downfield to Debo Samuel in traffic. That was just a dart, absolute dart.
That was on the second play of the drive. First play, they go run over to the right side. McCaffrey gets 8, and they go no huddle. Quick stuff, right? Quick game. Let's go. Let's get on the line of scrimmage. Let's make sure Detroit doesn't change their personnel. And then boom, he hits Debo Samuel, and that was a laser. That was a great wow. That felt like that throw was 150 miles an hour. He hit it right in the heads. Debo's able to run with it. It's a 26-yard gain, and all of a sudden the stadium's got some juice there. So when you get into Detroit territory a minute into the third quarter, you're like, okay, you're cooking with something here. So that drive right there, but the championship drive by Shanahan. And we see it at SoFi Stadium. We've seen it at Jerry's World with Jimmy Garoppolo. We see this in situations with Kyle Shanahan when it's time to ice a football game up. He gets a little conservative. He gets a little tight. He leads on the defense. There's 7:32 left in the fourth quarter. Stadium's buzzing. You have 27-24. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? When is Detroit going to get the ball back? And when they do get the ball back, what's the score going to be? It's going to be 30-24. It's going to be 34-24. What are you going to do? I thought Shanahan was brilliant on that final drive. McCaffrey 7 yards. Boom. Let's go to Debo for a little quick gator. Let's get the first down, move the sticks. Let's take our time. Here you go, McCaffrey. Let's run the ball again. Let's take our time. Short little pass to McCaffrey. And now you're setting up third and manageables, and he gets a scramble there, and then McCaffrey follows it up with a big 25-yard run. And so that championship drive, the 5-minute offense, I thought was excellent by Shanahan. He didn't get out of sorts. He allowed Purdy to do what he did, and that showed the trust between Shanahan and Purdy. And so by the time Purdy with the victory formation, who's the first guy he hugs off the field? Kyle Shanahan to celebrate a trip to the Super Bowl.
Let's examine that 3rd and 4 just for a second. Debo on one side, CMC on the other side. They're in shotgun. I'm sorry. Like, I was thinking in my mind, is he going to run this ball right here? Is he going to try to run this? Like I think in years past he does run it with Jimmy G. And I'm not ripping Jimmy G. I'm just saying, like, I'm going off the history. Like, go back to all the big plays on 3rd and 4 that they had in that SoFi matchup, or the week before against Green Bay, or the week before that against Dallas in that 2021 playoff. He ran the ball on every one of those plays. And in this one, he was going to throw. And Purdy ends up scrambling. I think that's the differentiator right there. He trusts his quarterback, and then his quarterback, comes back and says, "Oh, you trust me? Let me make a play because there's nothing else out there, and let me scramble for a big one." And then the CMC run, Charlie Warner, that might have been the best block of his career.
Yeah, no, that was a big time run by CMC. We'll get